A very good evening to the Invictus Formula One League. It's the penultimate round tonight from the Circuit of the Americas, the US Grand Prix here in Austin, Texas. I'm once again joined by Snake. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, very well, Louise, and I'm so glad we're arriving, Jake.
Talk a bit about that once the qualifying gets underway. Certainly a very popular driver for both, a popular track for both fans and drivers
Popular
alike.
driver. uh,
And yeah, should be a fun race, and just one round away from the finale, the last ever league race round Malaysia. So that's going to be a emotional farewell next week, depending on your thoughts on Malaysia, of course. Some people might be happy. And let's see what the weather's like for qualifying. It's absolutely sunny, dry, bright, everything else.
yeah, I don't think we'll see any snow.
Just double checking the streamer's working. It seems to be working, so that's all good. Yeah, so it should be a good qualifying session. Apologies if Snake's voice doesn't come across too well during the live stream. His internet is having one of its funny days, but hopefully
Yeah,
it won't be too much of an issue.
and if I don't reply to certain things, well, it's because it's cutting out sometimes, so my apologies.
Yeah. So I suppose this is the first drivers make their way out onto the racetrack. Sam is the first one out, eager to impress at this track that he absolutely loves, apparently. And he's not the only one. So yeah, Snake, give us your thoughts on the Circuit of the Americas.
Well, it was a track that was introduced not a very long time ago, but I believe it was 2012. It was a US track that hasn't been on the calendar for a very long time, so to have a US track on the calendar again was a great pleasure to have. And this circuit is unbelievable. It's one of my favourite circuits out of all circuits out there, and it's just unique. You can't really compare it to any other track. It is absolutely incredible, and there's been some fantastic races around here, and Lewis Hamilton winning here in 2012 against Sebastian Vettel, and then it was also Lewis won the title here in 2015 also. Several other races around here. It's really incredible.
Absolutely, and to drive round that Sector 1 is quite something.
Very challenging Sector 1 too, I might add. You could put that alongside Suzuka. Probably Suzuka
Absolutely.
Sector 1 is harder, I believe. But yeah, driving around it in the game, I really enjoy it. It's challenging, but once you get it together, it's a thrill to drive. I think it's be like you with Suzuka. Once you get it all together, it's fantastic.
Absolutely. It's something I've noticed early on just following Sam at the start of his lap is that some of the camera angles around this track on the game are absolutely superb. So I might not need to use the onboard too much tonight because you get a really good view from the broadcast camera angles. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, some lovely views you get around the corner. See everything. Whereas
Yeah.
half the time you don't.
Other tracks a bit more, not as quite as good for that, it's fair to say.
One example is I'm seeing the rear of Sam's car down the straight. It's not a great view. So.
Speaking about Sam very quickly, this is meant to be the track that he is going to shine around. This is the track where even Gamer admits he may struggle to win here against Sam. So with that in mind, do you expect it to be a really close battle between the two of them?
I expect so, but when you tend to say stuff like, "Oh, this is my favourite track, I should win here," or "I should do very well here," there's a lot of pressure, and you can tend to get nervous.
1:33.4.
Well, that's a very good lap time, though.
Yeah, it's a good opening benchmark for sure. Who else is close to finishing a lap? Boy Better Know and Real Hiroshi, the two Saubers, are finishing a lap. And that's a decent time from Boy Better Know as well, also in the 1:33s. What about Real Hiroshi? He's pitting, and sliding into the pits as well, so that's pretty adventurous. Here's the new, we didn't even talk about this, we've got a new driver in for this week. Axiri. I'm not sure if he's Norwegian, but he has a Norwegian flag, and he's in the Toro Rosso, and that's a decent opening time, mid-34. Interested to see how he gets on tonight. Hopefully he'll be a familiar face by the time the new game is out.
Yeah, it's nice to have him along, and I hope he enjoys the race tonight and see what he can do.
Gamer, I think, might have invalidated his laps or made a mistake somewhere, because he's backed off on his lap. Yeah, I think he invalidated. And that's a good point, actually. I saw that yesterday in the Performance League, that it's very, very easy to pick up penalties around here, especially around that Sector 1. It's very easy to clip over a curb and get a warning.
Oh, yeah, Sector 1 especially, and well, let's hope it's raining in the race, because there might be a ton of penalties then if that's the case.
Absolutely. So, following game around, how is he going to respond to Sam's opening benchmark? His first sector's a couple of attempts down on what he previously did, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know about tyre wear around here, but I mean, Ultra Softs around a track with a lot of high-speed turns. You think they wouldn't struggle to do many laps in the race compared to the Supers and the Softs?
Well, one benefit you would have with the Ultra Soft tyre is you have the most grip on those tyres to begin with, so going through the high-speed corners especially will be a big help. But obviously with a lot more grip comes, well, it will degrade a lot more quicker on the tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like that could be the deciding factor, could be strategy today. I'm thinking between Sam and Gamer at the front, and maybe behind them as well, there could be a good battle on for third place. And maybe there could be a unknown that challenges the established. Oh, and speaking of that, Nicky has just done a fantastic lap behind Gamer, and has gone very close to beating Sam's time, and has gone ahead of Gamer. So, why is it that Nicky could he be the driver to be a Ford in the championship contender side?
Very, very good lap. It's also interesting to know that Lipinski originally was on the super soft tyres. Now that might suggest that there might not be rain at the start of the race.
That is, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, this isn't probably one of the most expected tracks to rain, but it can rain here. I mean, it's not out of a question, but I mean, these lap times at the front, the top four are only separated by 0.4 of a second. It bodes well for the race, and you just wonder how much more pace Sam has. I think he's currently coming out in a heap of traffic out of the pit lane. He's in between two cars. I don't think anyone's on a lap at the moment, so I'll follow Boy Better Know on his out lap, who did a decent opening benchmark time. As for drivers who haven't done a lap yet, who could maybe get up there on the grid, Mr. X has shown some solid pace at times. I think Real Hiroshi tends to shine more in the races than qualifying. I don't know, would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, I'd say so, for sure.
It's not a bad trait to have though, because you don't win any points in qualifying.
Well, qualifying, you only get an advantage really at the start of a race. The race is far more important. I
mean, I think Real Hiroshi would struggle more if there was a big 18-car grid, but in a 10-car grid, it's not such a bad thing, even if you are down near the back. Well, it's worth noting that Mornan and Mr. X are also opting for the Super Softs. So yeah, definitely would suggest there's no rain forecast.
maybe they feel they don't have as much pace as the drivers who've posted time, so be a good call to go on a different strategy and try and get ahead of them.
Absolutely. I think I've always, if I know coming into a race I've not got much pace, I've very often either gone for a different tyre or sometimes not even bothered qualifying, depending on the size of the grid. Because you can start on fresh tyres at the start of the race and, potentially maybe avoid a first corner incident as well. So just following Boy Better Know around on his lap. I'm interested to see if he can go quicker and challenge the top three, because that would be very impressive. It's good to see Boy Better Know on the grid tonight. There was a few rumours in the paddock that he wouldn't be able to race for the rest of the season, but he's here and it's good to have him back. He showed some solid pace in a couple of races. I think Singapore he showed some good pace. So I'll be interested to see what he can do. He's just going to sector 3 now. This is the kind of track where the rear end's always kind of trying to dance away from you, isn't it?
Yeah, if you push the car hard enough, you can certainly easily slide the car around. I mean, it's easier for us because we drive with assists on, so it must be a lot harder for these drivers. Like, I know some of them have no assists on whatsoever, and
oh, what a lap time from Boy Better Know. He's gone onto the front row now, and also the 1:33.4. Here comes Sam. Can he improve his pole position time? Oh, of course he can.
Wow.
Into the 1:32s. And, well, there's a reason why I try and challenge Sam. He's got to jump a couple of cars just to get in the front row.
Yeah, this is unlike Gamer here. You tend to see him dominate in qualifying, and he's got a lot to do here.
Absolutely, just seen Lipensky finish a lap, but I don't think it's going to do much for him because it's at 8 minutes 41. No, don't know what that was all about. Who is on a lap then? It's getting towards the end of qualifying now. Agziri's on a decent first sector in a Toro Rosso. Nicky is also in the first sector of his lap. Boy Better Know is going a bit quicker again in sector 3, so we'll follow him round. Could he go even quicker? Of course, the quicker he goes, the more challenging it'll be for Gamer to get into the front row. Checker flag is
close.
Yeah, the checker flag is out. So these are the key laps now. Boy Better Know currently sat on the front row. Can he cement that position by improving? He got a bit of oversteer. 1:33.1. Nice lap.
Nice lap. Yep.
So Agziri is in the last sector as well. Could he potentially jump in front of Gamer too? That really would be a turn up for the books on his F1 debut. If he knows Gamer, he'll know just how tough Gamer is to beat, especially in qualifying. What can he do around the final corner? He goes up. It goes up to 4th ahead of him. Gamer now down to 5th. What about Nicky, who's coming around the final corner? Nicky, oh, Nicky's lost the car, and that cost Nicky the chance to improve. Gamer's in the final sector of his lap. His sector 1 time is incredibly good, I've got to say. But what about the rest of his lap? I think no one else is going to improve now. So it's all down to Gamer. This would be a very Gamer thing to do if he was to steal pole here.
Yeah, absolutely.
He goes around the final corner, and he... Oh, that's a ridiculous lap. A 1:32.5. Wow.
Wow, Gamer was just teasing us in the end. What a laugh.
That is absolutely incredible. Once again, when he looked like his back was against the wall, he pulls out the bag. And I think that's the really impressive thing about Gamer's season, is that so many times in qualifying he's pulled out the bag on the last lap. And that's such a difficult thing to do when the pressure's on.
Yeah, absolutely. You got one moment and just the slightest of mistakes can just cost you pole. But God, he took pole in some fashion there.
Oh, I wonder what Sam's going to make of that. Will he feel like he could have gone quicker himself, or is it just one of those instances where he just has to say, wow? I mean, maybe gamers do.
It's not over just yet. I mean, there's always the start, which is hugely important. And if Sam does feel he has a bit more pace than the lap he presented, then it could be in for a very good race.
Sam's often as well tends to have good race pace as well. So
yeah, I feel like Sam's race pace is better from what I've seen from his few races.
I mean, it's very unlikely the championship will be decided today, but it's a big step for one of these drivers depending on the result. I mean, the only way it can be decided today, I believe, is if Gamer finishes in the top 2 and Sam doesn't finish. So, but I doubt that's going to happen. Unless we get like a Schumacher moment, but I don't think that's in Gamer's nature at all, so. Anyway, run through the grid then. Gamer and Sam take the front row. Boy Better Nova, great lap in 3rd. Nicky 4th. Xeri 5th on his debut. Mornan 6th. Foxy Red 7th. And then 8th, 9th and 10th. Penske, Mr. X and Really Rossi didn't even do a lap time. So...
we have fresh tyres to start with.
Absolutely. So it's definitely not a bad strategy. They could even start on soft tyre. Super softs being used in quali, but there's no real threat of it. Do you want to do a top 3 prediction very quickly? And Xeri to get a podium on his debut.
Not a bad shout.
So we're both on different sides of a Mercedes-Ferrari battle here for what we think is going to happen. That shows just how close these two drivers are.
Well, that's what we want.
Absolutely. 5 lights. And away we go for the US Grand Prix. It looks like Gamer got a strong start from pole position. I don't know, he's going to cover the inside line, is he? Yep, Sam's goes to the outside. He's got to watch out for the Renault coming down the inside. They all file through there pretty nicely. The top 2 is as you were. Nicky's dropped down to 6th. Foxy Red's had a great start up to 4th. So that's a great start for the Red Bull driver, but a poor start for Nicky. And it's good to see they've all got away pretty nicely. But Gamer keeps the lead ahead of Sam, ahead of Boy Better Know. Oh, and there's a yellow flag. What's gone off? As Mr. X, I think, has had a skirmish off track. He's lost a lot of time. So that's a poor start for the McLaren driver. Oh, big moment for Boy Better Know. Coming onto that long straight. And that's allowed some breathing space for Sam. And in fact, Foxy Red's going to have a go at Boy Better Know for 3rd place. What a start this would be for the Red Bull. Down the inside. And Foxy Red takes 3rd. Oh, but Boy Better Know trying to fight back. Oh, Foxy Red plants the car in the middle of the track. And there's nowhere for the Renault to go. What caught your eye then at the start? Hello. Anyway, Boy Better Know then is... well, they've kind of been gapped a bit by the top 2 with they're battling so hard at the moment. Foxy Red 2 seconds behind Sam, but it's still a great start. I think Foxy Red started in 6th place, gaining 3 positions on lap 1. It's very well done.
Yeah, I'm having major connection issues, so my bad if I can't hear much.
No worries.
But yeah,
no.
Great start from Foxy Red.
And important for Gamer to stay ahead of Sam, but Sam is not being dropped at all. Oh, big moment for Sam there. It gives Gamer a bit of breathing space. There's a bit of a train developing behind Foxy Red. I don't know if you noticed that. Oh, and Xeri's gone wide, and Nicky will take 5th place back, although they're side by side down the main straight. Toro Rosso versus Force India. Who's going to get the edge? No DRS, of course, yet. So it is a drag race. They're still side by side with each other. Nicky will lock up down the inside. Xeri's not giving up. They're still alongside each other. He'll have the inside for this corner. He'll brake later. He'll still give Nicky the room, though. This is fantastic racing. And Nicky now will have the inside line. But Xeri still fights back. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. But it looks like Nicky has finally got P5. But it's great to see the newbie to the F1 League racing so well against one of the league's veterans. Meanwhile, back in the fight for 3rd place, Boy Better Know still right behind Foxy Red. We'll think about a run into turn 1, but I think when DRS becomes active, he'll have much more of an opportunity to make the pass. Real Hiroshi, meanwhile, has got past Mornham for P8. I don't know if Mornham made a bit of a mistake there. I just saw the position just change on the left-hand side. Sam is trying with all his might to stay within DRS range, but I think he may just miss out on it.
Yeah, he's less than a 10th away from DRS range.
Oh,
so crucial.
Absolutely, he's not going to get it either, but Boy Better Know certainly is going to get DRS on Foxy Red, so it's battle for 3rd place. Yeah, it's about to get pretty close again, I think. Is he going to go to the inside? I think it's better of it. It wasn't quite close enough in the end. I mean, fair play to Foxy Red for the start they've made, and hopefully they can keep this going. There's news in the paddock that they do have some steering wheel issues that could play a part later on in this race, but hopefully for their sake it's not too much of a problem, because you don't want to see a driver's race ruined by something that's out of their control. Back at the front, still Sam desperately trying to cling on to that DRS from Gamer. And oh, Foxy Red a little bit wide, but not too much of an issue. You get pretty good drive out of there if you do run wide, so it's not the biggest problem. Nicky's starting to close in on these two though, and he's dropping Xeri behind, so Nicky showing the pace that got him onto the 2nd row in qualify. Oh, Xeri's gone off. Xeri had a spin and has fallen to 9 from 6. Oh, that's a real shame, but not too much of a disaster. I don't think they've got damage, and oh, he's just been passed by Mr. X2. I don't think he's got too much damage though, so if he can recover and get back on the power, and he's still got a lot of points to fight for this evening. But that's the trouble when you golf, though. You're seeing it on board of him now, that you know, your tyres get dirty and it is difficult to find that grip again.
Yeah, it does seem to have a major impact on the tyres, but not too far behind the drivers. Well, there's a train, really. So,
absolutely.
Could easily get back up into 6th place.
Yeah, and I mean, if these 3 start battling for 3rd, they could start slowing each other down as well. Nicky's now right there with them.
Yeah, Lipinski just went wide.
Oh, really, Rossi just behind. Foxy Red, no he's not. Got to be worried that Force India behind. Oh, and oh, Real Hiroshi right behind Lipinski there. I think Xeri lost it through his sector 1, and you do get that sometimes. The back end of a car does go really light through there sometimes, and it's easy to lose it.
Penske seems to be struggling a bit. He's just got a 3-second time penalty.
That won't be the last penalty we see in these 28 laps. as Mornan runs a bit wide. Well, Mornan runs very wide, in fact, and gives Mr. X a chance to get P8, which he does. So, and Xeri won't be too far behind either. So what about the battle for third? Oh boy, Benno dives down the inside of Foxy Red. Foxy Red stays to the outside. Which will become the inside line for this corner. I love this section of track because it gives you a chance to keep the battle going for several corners. But in fact, while Boy Better Know's been trying to get the move done, he's got to be careful. Nicky nearly had a move up the inside there. Can Foxy Red defending well so far, but he's got a bit slow through there. Oh, and Boy Better Know had to dive to the outside before there was contact. Oh, and they've been contact. No! Oh, and he's hit Nicky. Oh no, that's a huge accident. And that's their racer's ruined, surely.
Oh no.
Oh, that's really, really unfortunate for both of them. I think Boy Better Know he was alongside Foxy Red and he just lost the back end of the car, and unfortunately, because of how close he was to the car next to him, I just sent him into the wall. And then, obviously, when he came back onto the track, there was really nothing Nicky could do.
Yeah, Nicky, the innocent party and all of that, really unfortunate for him. Gutted. And,
well, Nicky's got front wing damage, and Boy Better Know doesn't have a front wing. So... and that's a real shame, because that brings to an end what was shaping up to be a great podium fight. Hopefully, maybe later on in the race there'll be another battle again, but currently Foxy Red now has P3 under control.
Yeah, we might see a couple of pit stops from them.
Mr. X down the inside of Lipensky for P4 now. But yeah, this is suddenly become a battle for 4th place. Who would have thought that? But Mr. X has got a move done, a superb overtake down the inside of the DRS straight. Lipensky thinking about a move back, but Mr. X nearly losing the back end of the car, and now Lipensky's going to go down the inside. This would be super brave. Oh, we're still alongside each other. That is ridiculous driving, and eventually Mr. X gets a position. In fact, Real Hiroshi's having to pass Lipensky as well now. Oh, superb wheel-to-wheel action here. And now Real Hiroshi's got the inside line on Lipensky, who does not have DRS. And Real Hiroshi's down the inside. Oh. And he's got the move done, and Lipensky nearly lost a place to his teammate as well.
Thought they were going to crash into each other then.
It's worth noting that 4th down to 6th all started on super softs.
Yeah, I was just going to say, for the drivers behind who lost their front wings, Nicky and Boy Better Know, I was interested to see if they were going to go on soft tyres. Nicky has, so yeah. I imagine he probably wants to stay out to the end now on those tyres.
It's definitely possible. So his race isn't over just yet. Oh, and there's a wall into the wall. Goes Mornan. He spun going out of the corner before the long straight. It's a traction zone, and he just got on the throttle too early, and he's another one I think who may have to make an early stop because his left side of his front wing is heavily damaged. So yeah, that's a lot of drivers struggling in the traction zones here. Like I said, the rear end of the car is just not sticking as they would have wanted. Meanwhile, quickly to recap at the front, Gamer now 3 seconds ahead of Sam. So Sam at the moment just doesn't look like he has the pace to beat Gamer.
Well, it's a long race to go yet. We'll see what happens. But yeah, maybe the start was maybe the most crucial moment, but Gamer just had a good enough start to stay ahead.
Absolutely. There's a fair play to Foxy Red as well. Grid driving third at the moment, but 10 seconds behind Sam. What tyres is Mornan going for, I wonder? He's also going for the softs. Oh, why is there a yellow flag? It's because Xeri has spun now on his debut. He's had a huge spin, I think again in Sector 1, so he's really struggling in that part of the track. That's a real shame. I don't think he's got damage, but he's just losing so much time, and you wonder if it might be worth pitting for softs for him soon.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. I'd say throughout the entire circuit, I'd say probably the high-speed corners in Sector 1 is the most difficult to master, because you've got to take a lot of risk coming through those corners.
Exactly, you got to carry that for speed, but the back end of a car just doesn't want to stick with it sometimes if you go over the limit.
Yeah, and if you just hit the curves a bit too much as well, your car can just go off as well.
I think that's the biggest change that these new era cars brought, wasn't it? Is that when you go over the limit in these new era of cars, they just snap on you.
Yeah, it seems to be that way.
It's not easy to handle at all. I imagine the wet conditions are like hell for in IRL. Battle then on track for 4th. Mr. X and Real Hiroshi. And once again, Real Hiroshi just avoiding the chaos, staying calm, and gaining good positions through it. Xeri's pitted for super softs, Mornan's pitted for softs. Oh, and boy better know. Oh, Gamer!
Oh.
Gamer's
What?
in the wall! Gamer is out of the US Grand Prix from the lead. And is that his championship gone as well? That is a huge moment.
Wow.
Well, I'm apologies I didn't catch that, but to be honest with you, it seemed like he was having a fairly routine day out in front, but well, Gamer lost the championship to Sam last season. Is it about to be deja vu again, and is this the big turning point?
I don't think anybody expected that.
That's unbelievable. It's almost like Vettel in Hockenheim, isn't it? You just think he's got it
Yeah.
under control, and would it be fair
That's
to
very
say that?
strange.
Would it be fair to say that maybe he was having to push really hard to go quicker than Sam, and that was the risk of it?
Who knows? Maybe it was just the slightest of mistakes and ended up crashing. I mean, like if you lose concentration for just one corner, it could be the end of the race.
That's it, isn't it? Gamers had so many comfortable race victories, but you can't underestimate just how difficult it is when you're leading comfortably to stay focused.
I think the better you are at at racing, the easier it looks. I think Gamer just made it look incredibly easy when really it's incredibly difficult.
Gotta say, this is I've never seen, this is probably one of the hardest tracks. Now he'll have a 9-point lead over Gamer going into the season finale, and all he'd have to do then is finish in the top 7 at Malaysia, so
Just needs to make sure he doesn't crash now, but he's got a huge gap, so he can, he doesn't have to push.
yeah, he's pitted for softs as well, and they should see him comfortably to the end of the race. The 2 drivers ahead of him have yet to stop, and truth be told, Sam doesn't need to take any risks against them. Get the feeling we're going to be talking to some different drivers on the podium tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a win for Sam here will give him a mighty lead coming into the final race in the championship.
So, still a battle out front between Mr. X and Real Hiroshi. It's not that it's the provisional lead, because obviously they haven't stopped yet. I wonder if, because they're on super softs, I wonder what tyres they'll go for in the second stint, because I mean, they could risk the ultras if their tyre wear's good, I guess.
Yeah, potentially.
And I think these two battled last week, didn't they, for a podium spot?
They did. There's quite a mix here. Several drivers on super softs, several on soft tyres.
Yeah, I think, has Lipinski stopped yet? Let's have a look. No, Lipinski hasn't stopped yet, so... Yeah, so from what I can see, other than Boy Better Known and Xeri, everyone who's on the super softs has yet to stop, so... Although, while I get distracted by that, quickly cut back to the lead, because Sam's caught straight up to the back of these two, and... Well, you wonder how long... Oh! Mr. X has had a huge moment, and he's lost the lead to Real Hiroshi. Mr. X lost the car, and it's another big mistake. It's not quite as costly as some of the others we've seen, but Real Hiroshi now has the lead. Although, I suspect not for very long, with Sam right behind him. I don't think...
Sam's got a very good pace.
Real Hiroshi's shown very good maturity and calmness though, so I don't think he'll fight Sam tremendously. I think he knows it's not really his race. And Sam goes down the inside. Real Hiroshi does cut back to the outside, so he's not giving Sam the easiest of rides, but yeah, I think those super softs have seen better days now, so there isn't much Real Hiroshi can do. As Lipinski gets another penalty and Real Hiroshi has another huge moment, and there's a spinner again. It's Xeri who spun further down the field, and I mean, it's a learning curve for a Toro Rosso driver. You know, he's shown good pace, and I'm sure he'll find the consistency the more he does league racing. And if he keeps going this race, he's going to get some half decent points anyway. So it's all good experience for him, and hopefully he'll come back stronger in Malaysia next time out. Real Hiroshi, Mr. X and Lipinski are all pitting and are all going on to soft tyres. That'll be them going to the end now, so I guess now most drivers, you'd imagine, maybe the possible exception of the two super soft runners, I'd say the rest of them will all be planning to go to the end now. So,
yeah, it seems that way.
So Nicky's just got past Lipinski through the pit stop phase, up to 5th. Good recovery from Nicky, actually, considering that unlucky collision he had. Back up in the top 5, and you never know. Still not out of a contention for the podium. I guess what will be going through Sam's head now is don't lose focus, keep concentration. The last thing he'd want to do now is make the same mistake as Gamer.
Well, it's got such a huge advantage, you know. He's not under any real pressure, I don't think, so he can afford to slow down a bit and relax, not relax too much. Yeah, he seems pretty comfortable at the minute.
Shout out to Foxy Red too, who's driven magnificently so far.
Yeah, very nice, consistent drive. You know, I think he's made very few mistakes out of all these drivers really, so I think that's why he's up into 2nd place.
Yeah, and it's the first time I've actually seen why he was such a good contender early on last season, because I've not really seen this sort of drive from him so far, but I guess the more races he does, the more he gets up to speed, and he seems to have found that consistency again. So yeah, good drive so far, and hopefully I've not jinxed it for him. I can't just say, Snake, glory hallelujah, I think I can hear your voice clearly for the first time in 14 laps.
Wow, that's good.
Oh, the quality sounds so amazing.
Woohoo!
I'm really worried about the lack of viewers on the live stream. I don't think there has been any. I really hope this stream's been working. Sorry guys, I get paranoid about this every single week, but it's because it did actually happen once. So I'm just going to double check.
One time we did the stream and it just did not appear at all, so that was over an hour wasted.
I'd be quite annoyed today, considering it's been such a good race. Oh, it is working. That's a great relief. As Real Hiroshi collects a time penalty, and that could be crucial at the end of the race because Mr. X isn't far behind, but I mean, this is a test for all drivers now, really, to try and avoid penalties as the race goes on, because you're more likely to cut those apexes the less concentrated you are towards the end.
Yeah.
Although for Sam, I don't think a few penalties will make much difference at the moment for him. He's in a bit of a league of his own.
He's happy building his lead. Almost 15 seconds now.
It's incredible to say this with Sam, if he wins this, on the verge of winning his second title. But this will be Sam's first win of the season.
Yeah. But he's always been up there, hasn't he? He's always, if he's not winning, he's always on the podium usually. Such a consistent finisher.
That's it. I mean, it's the first time we've seen a mistake like that from Gamer, but Sam's just not made those mistakes. The only mistake I can really remember him having was in qualifying at Singapore, but he made up for that in the race.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Just getting another fastest lap there. Foxy Red will be like,
on the
come on.
soft tyres as well, impressive.
Foxy Red will be like, come on.
That's it.
I wonder if Sam's are thinking, if I can get the gap out, I might potentially go on to Ultras at the end.
Well, he could afford to if he wanted.
Or will he not take that risk in such a crucial race?
He's got a lot of options.
It looks like Boy Better Know is catching up to Lipinski, so that could be a battle on track soon with Boy Better Know on those better soft tyres, super soft tyres. Boy Better Know recovering after that really unfortunate crash early on with himself and Nicky. I mean, there's no one in the blame there, it's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, it really was, but credit to them for keeping on going and trying to salvage something from the race.
Speaking quickly about Gamer, obviously he missed out on the title last season by 3 points. If things stay as they are, there's a good chance he might lose out on the title again. Is that psychologically going to have an impact, do you think, going forward?
I think it will, especially if it was in your hands like it was today. He seemed to be, leading the race, and he seemed fairly comfortable until, well, a massive crash happens. That's 25 points lost for him, isn't it? Or how many points, whatever.
Yeah.
Maximum points basically
12,
for the race.
12 points, yeah.
12 points, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's 12 points, all gone. Where he could have really, I mean, maybe you might have thought, maybe I shouldn't have pushed so hard. Maybe, finishing second wouldn't have been such a bad idea.
Oh,
But
that's the thing. I mean, if he'd have finished second to Sam here, he said this in post-race interview, that even if I finish second to Sam here, I've still got a 1 point lead into Malaysia, so it's still in my hands. So, but I guess racing drivers' instinct, they want to win, don't they?
yeah, I kind of want him to be on the podium now for the final race, just so we can hear what he says about the incident today.
Well, knowing Gamer, I think he'll want to. I think he'll want to go out on a high in Malaysia and win, no matter what. I think he'll just put the championship out of his mind and just focus on doing the best he can in Malaysia. And if he can see the season off with a win, and you never know. I mean, Malaysia, we know what Malaysia's like. It could be rain, very unpredictable. You never know. Maybe Sam could make a mistake. So it's never over till it's over. Oh, Lipinski's gone wide. That's going to give Boy Better Know all the incentive he needs to take P6. Lipinski made that quite easy for him in the end.
Yeah, I was kind of glad he didn't rejoin at the worst possible time. He was aware Boy Better Know was coming through, so well done there.
Yeah, good, clean, respectful driving. You've always got to be careful when rejoining the track. You never know where drivers are in relation to you, and you've just got to be aware of your surroundings. So on lap 18 of 28, I've got to be honest, the first 10 laps of this race were absolutely thrilling. But I think trouble is, of all the incidents that have happened, it's kind of spread the field out over time.
Yeah, I think we were kind of spoilt in the first half. A lot happened, and like you said, it's spread the drivers around.
I mean, we could potentially see a few battles later on, because there's some not so huge gaps. Certainly, I'd say second. That's a very good point. I'm sure Real Hiroshi was nowhere near that close to Foxy Red before. So I wonder if Real Hiroshi might fancy his chances of second place here, and a second consecutive podium for the Renault driver. I mean, that really good run of form towards the end of the season. I think in terms of consistency, the only one who can hold a candle to Sam at the moment is Real Hiroshi. Maybe James too, but obviously he's not racing tonight.
Yeah.
Well, as expected, Aziri cannot take those super softs to the end. I assume he'll pit for, I'd guess, ultras. Or supers again. Oh, okay. I honestly thought he could have gone for ultras, but I guess he just wants to make sure he gets to the flag. He's going to rejoin just behind Mornham, but he will be on much fresher and quicker tyres. So we'll be hoping he can get back up to 8th place. Well, that was incredibly
That was
easy.
very sensible. Yeah.
Mornham not wanting.
I think Mormon just let him through there. From what I saw.
Yeah, maybe felt like it was a fight that wasn't worth having. Can't blame for that. Sometimes if it's a racetrack you're not too confident around, or it's just not being your race, then sometimes it's just best to try and collect the points and move on, as Sam gets an incredibly crucial time penalty. That could make all the difference.
If he gets 10 more of those, then yeah, it could be crucial.
And Boy Better Know also pits, so yeah, as expected, the super soft runners unable to take those tyres to the end. I said this before, but I reckon Boy Better Know might go for the ultra softs. Please go for the ultra softs. Yes! thanks Boy Better Know. I didn't want to be wrong again. Yeah! Not biased, but I hope he gets after a few drivers ahead and gets some moves done, just because he proved me right.
Wow.
And so yeah, it was second down to fourth as they're reasonably close together. So if there's any mistakes or time penalties, could see a change in the positions there. I can't remember. Sam has pitted, so he clearly thinks he can go on to. He might have seen Boy Better Know going on to ultras and thought, well, you're not getting fastest lap. So, I mean, he might rejoin behind Foxy Red, but I mean, even if he does, he's going to be way quicker.
Yeah, unless there's an incident between the two of them, which I don't think will happen.
I think Sam's got out ahead anyway.
Yeah. He has.
Must have been informed that he had the gap to make a pit stop, and he's taken that opportunity, and now he'll probably set a blistering lap.
He'll be happier on tyres too.
Oh, absolutely. The soft tyres are a good race tyre, but I don't think they're much fun to drive.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, as it stands, Foxy Red. Oh, Sam's gone wide. Oh, it's pushing those ultras a bit too hard there. As it stands, yeah, Foxy Red is going to win the race because of penalties. But I get the feeling Sam will put the hammer down on those ultras. So I don't think that penalty will be an issue. Maybe if he gets a couple more though. But yeah, Sam hasn't put a foot wrong, and I can't see that changing. The only danger of pushing on ultras is you can overstep the mark.
Yeah.
There's a message in the stream chat. I'll try and see what it says. Oh, Gamers said GG game in the stream chat, so I wonder what's that relation to. I wonder what's happened. If you could let us know, Gamer, what happened to you. Be interesting to hear. So maybe it wasn't just a simple crash.
I wonder if it was one of those classic Formula 1 Codemasters glitches where there was an invisible wall, for example.
Well, if I would hate for a championship to be decided like that.
Yeah, you can't always ignore the faults in the F1 games by Codemasters.
So yeah, it's been interesting to hear what happened to Gamer, and unlucky man. Hopefully he come back fighting in Malaysia, and regardless of what happens in the championship, if you can go out on a win, then I think it's still been an excellent season for you, considering you missed 2 races as well.
Yeah, well done on your lap time around here in Austin as well. It was a great time.
So yeah, out-qualified Sam, who was appearing to be very confident. Didn't just out-qualify him, he blistered 4 tenths quicker. Outstanding pace. Here we go, there's a comment from Gamer here. Chug car just glitched out and pulled to left, pushing me into the wall, or putting me into the wall. Wow. Okay. Thanks, Codemasters.
Yeah, it's a shame we missed that.
Yeah, because unfortunately we didn't catch it on the stream, Gamer, so we didn't see what happened to you. It'd be really weird to see that from your angle. That's really, really unfortunate. I know you record your footage though, so I'll be interested to see your footage of that, because that's gonna be
Yeah, if he does have footage of that, that would be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
I think we just assumed that, that there was just a driver error,
Yeah.
as you would do.
He says it's either game related or wheel related, and he will upload it. So. So yeah, Sam won't want to win the championship like this. But as far as he's concerned, he's got to take advantage of it.
Well, it's the reality with F1, isn't it? I mean, this year in particular, like you mentioned already, Sebastian Vettel crashing out, leading the race. That could be the deciding factor.
Oh, Real Roshi's got a time penalty.
Happens.
That could be his second one as well, so that may cost Real Roshi a podium if Mr. X hasn't got any penalties. And that should seal Foxy Red's second place.
Yeah, as it stands with the top 3 predictions we've made, you've got one right, and I wasn't even close.
Yeah, we can't predict what happens with a game though if it is game related. The game has lost all my championships on this game by 1 point, so this sums it up perfectly. Oh, unlucky. It'll happen. I mean, you're too quick of a driver for it not to happen sooner or later. You will get that championship.
Yeah, he started much later, didn't he? So, you know, you got to take that into consideration as well.
I mean, if you can miss 2 races and still be up there, I mean, it's you got to think you're doing something right.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, boy better knows. Caught up to Lipinski again after he made that second pit stop. And he's got past Lipinski down the inside. Lipinski, I don't think, put too much of a fight. I think he knows it's not a fight he can win. Oh, well, he locked up a bit and nearly went to the back of Boy Better Know. I think that was just a bit of a misjudgment.
Yeah. Like a Valtteri Bottas moment in Hungary.
And he labels Sam as Mr. Consistent. This gamer, I don't know.
Consistent, but he's also had pace as well. And you know, it's been very quick, especially around here. He wasn't kidding that he liked this track.
Yeah, fair play to them both. They both had excellent seasons, and no one's really come close to challenging them in the championship. We had Charles and Brady obviously for a while, but that didn't materialise, unfortunately. But Sam and Gamer have just been the class of the field throughout, really. And well done to Sam, who should finally take his first victory of the season at the 9th time of asking. And yeah, he's had countless podium finishes, like you say.
Yep.
Really, Hiroshi's caught right up to Foxy Red, but I don't think this is a battle for position because of Real Hiroshi's penalties. But you know, maybe for pride, Real Hiroshi might still want to get that second place. You know, getting that position on track is always something that I think you strive for as a driver, as Mr. X also picks up a time penalty. In terms of like drivers, I think have done a great job today. Obviously, we mentioned Sam, Foxy Red. I think it's worth giving a bit of a shout out to Nicky as well, who's up in 5th. Despite having that unfortunate incident earlier on, he's driven a really good race, considering.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. And he was really unlucky too. He was, you know, just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and he should be really happy if he finishes 5th, because that is a fantastic place to finish after what happened, having to go back into the pits after a damaged front wing. So yeah, well done, Nicky.
And with the way he was catching up to Foxy Red and Real Hiroshi and Boy Better Know at the time, Real Hiroshi does get past Foxy Red for P2, but we just see how it finishes up in the end due to penalties. But fair play to Real Hiroshi taking that position on the track. Although, almost handing it straight back. Foxy Red had a bit of a look there. Yeah, I was going to say, I think if Nicky would have waited with the speed he was going at, I think he could have got second today if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, certainly a podium finish by the looks of it.
Oh, Foxy Red. Got to be careful, you don't want to get unnecessary front wing damage now. I don't know if you'll have been told about Real Hiroshi's penalties, but doesn't need to take any risks, and he should have the podium with second place wrapped up. I think Nicky, looking at the gaps, is starting to lose a lot of time, but you know, he did pit for softs quite early on, as Foxy Red's not done yet.
Yeah, Real Hiroshi just went wide and allowed Foxy Red to come back into play and try and overtake.
Oh, and he thinks about the move, and they keep battling like this. Mr. X could have a say on the last lap too. Sam's got a pit stop lead again, which just underlines just how quick he is, and how quick the ultra softs are compared to the softs. But yeah, Foxy Red not giving up on the podium, and yeah, doing a great job. Penske in 7th. Credit to Xeri as well. Had a lot of moments in this race, a debutant, but it's kept going and it's in for a solid result in 8th. And like I said, with experience, should only improve. We've seen Real Hiroshi progressively get better results as Sam gets another vital corner cutting penalty. Oh, and Foxy Red again nearly running into the back of Real Hiroshi. That's when people are at varying like degrees of wear with their tyres at this stage, and it's easy to get caught out in the braking zones. Oh, there's the yellow flag in sector 3. It's Lipensky. Lipensky's gone round. And that will give Xeri 7th place, I think. Yes, it will. So that's a welcome position for the Toro Rosso driver. Good stuff. In P7. But we're going to follow Sam round now around the last few corners. It was really unfortunate for Gamer with the accident that happened to him. We're not sure quite what caused it, but all Sam could do was take advantage, and he's done that to devastating effect. He comes round the final corner now to take the championship lead and a big advantage to Malaysia. He wins the US Grand Prix at an absolute canter, it has to be said. Real Hiroshi should hold off Foxy Red for second, but what will penalties do to this podium positions? Who will miss out? Because even Mr. X isn't that far behind now either. Real Hiroshi, another stunning drive along with Foxy Red. Who's going to get the positions? Foxy Red does indeed get second. And Real Hiroshi hangs on to third. Mr. X also had penalties. Nicky, a great recovery drive after an unfortunate collision with Boy Better Know. He takes P5. Boy Better Know will take P6. Xeri is round in the last few corners. A solid debut for him. A really impressive qualifying performance, and some good points in 7th. And Lipensky will be last across the line in P8. Alright. Oh, that's because Gamer left for briefly. It showed up as Xeri being the race winner. Okay.
Well done.
Oh, stunning. Really stunning. Driver of the day is a really tough one tonight. Who would you go for?
I'm gonna have to give it. I think just purely because of the recovery drive and the crash that he had nothing to do.
And Real Hiroshi, but I just think Nicky's recovery and overall pace before that accident, it was really impressive. And
Yeah.
fair play to him. Good points in fifth in the end, considering what happened. So there we go. Sam takes a big step towards the championship, and we'll get the podium finishers in to hear their reactions to the race. If I could press the right button. uh, oh, as usual. This is just going all kinds of wrong. Well, Foxy Red and Real Hiroshi. I accidentally added him to a message group by accident. I thought I was inviting him into the party. Thank you. Oh, I'm having. Why not? Okay.
Send them the message through fax. Oh.
Well, it could be a case of Co-Master striking again tonight. We've heard gamers view in the stream chat. I don't know how much you know about what happened. We didn't actually see the incident on board at the time.
I had lag when it happened, so I don't know myself.
Okay, well, we'll get the podium interviews underway. Foxy, ready if you just make sure your party settings, voice is set to always share, so we hear your voice on the stream. And we'll start with the race winner, Sam. Congratulations on the win. A bit of a weird one, but seemed pretty comfortable after Gamers DNF. What are your views on the race?
Well, I felt like I don't sort of deserve it because I thought Gamer had the pace completely. I was going to try and undercut him and see if I could catch back up, but I completely bottled it in qualifying, so he sort of deserved it in my eyes, but can't help what happened to him.
Yeah, we wondered in qualifying, was that unexpected pace from Gamer, or did you feel like you could have gone up quicker?
I bottled both my runs. I think I lost roughly 4 tenths. I mean, we were so close in practice. It's pretty much a tenth between us. So, well, I wasn't really surprised. But I knew as soon as I did my lap, you can easily beat it.
You know a race win's pretty comfortable when you can make an extra pit stop for the hell of it to go on ultra softs. Was that just the thing, you knew you had the gap, so you thought might as well go for a fastest lap?
Yeah, I just thought I wasn't really pushing, so I thought I'd just trying to keep the concentration up this pit, just to make sure I get it all covered and no punches or anything stupid.
So you've got a 9-point championship lead now heading to Malaysia. I mean, it's yours to lose now, surely?
Yes. Hopefully I don't do anything stupid or crash or just bring it home and that should be job done. Easier said than done though.
Alright, congratulations again on the win and a big step towards the championship.
Thank you.
move on to Foxy Red now. Finished second place. How are you feeling after that one? Must be great to be back on the podium again.
Feels like it's been forever. God, I'm literally in pain. Like my heart was beating so hard after that crash. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was a crazy race. I was worried that my wheel was going to pack in because it's been doing it for ages now, and I was going around but the whole race just thinking it's just going to pack in, and I'm so lucky that it made it to the end. Because I'm sure, like, took them all corners and I thought.
All right, could you slightly adjust your volume a bit just so I can hear you a bit more clearly, shall I say? It sounded a bit quiet. That was all. But yeah, it's like a really good battle between yourself and Real Hiroshi towards the end. Were you aware of his penalties?
Like that again?
We noticed you had a really good battle towards the end with Real Hiroshi, but we knew that Real Hiroshi had a few penalties. Were you aware of that?
Was I aware of the penalties? Yeah. That's why at the end I don't know if you saw it, but I just basically let him through. I thought he is quicker than me, but not by much. So if I just stay with him, yeah, I just stuck with him.
All right, how has it been for you this season? We know you've not had a chance to do many races this season, but you were very competitive last season. Has it been a case of building up the confidence again and the consistency?
Last season, it started off really well. I was on the podium all through the first races, and I won and that was round 3, and that was actually the last time I was on the podium because Sam Bam, everyone joined, and they were just, I couldn't believe how quick they were, and I still can't believe how quick they are. But towards the end of the season, I was in the lead for the championship, and the spring snapped in my pedal, and that just threw me out of the championship, so I lost that one. And a few races back, that was my first league race back, and I got unlucky there. That's when the wheel packed in that race, and I've been steadily, getting back to the norm of league racing. Yeah, I did miss it a lot during my big race, and with that, I'm still trying to get back to where I was not quite yet.
All right, and I suppose finally looking forward to Malaysia. Have you got hopes of a similar result in Malaysia?
I guess I can always try and do my best. A win would be nice, but I wouldn't want to get in the way of Sam Bam or Ghana. That's why I did it with that. This I just let them go. I didn't even try, but well, even if I did try, I wouldn't be able to keep up with them. So I think third is the best you can get. I think third is a win, and second, I couldn't believe it. So next week, I'm just going to stay out the way. Of course, I'm going to go for the podium again, but who knows?
I suppose the final question to both of you. I don't think Real Hiroshi's I don't think he's joined. So yeah, final question to you both. Start with Sam. So last time we'll have Malaysia on the game for the foreseeable future. Is it a track you'll miss?
I guess it's probably better than some other tracks. I don't know really. It's a big track, but a bit boring to watch in real life.
And Foxy Red?
It's not my favourite track. I don't like the penultimate corner at all. It's a fun track though. I haven't had many races round here in league racing. I had one and it was a disaster. So I'm not really going to be missing it much.
So yeah, that'll be next week. Final race of the season. Be sure to tune in because it should be a great race, and we'll decide who the champion's going to be. Thanks as always to Snake for commentating with me.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll see you all next week for the final race around Malaysia. Bye.